Welcome to the Irreplaceable Dental Assistant Podcast, brought to you by Dane, Dental Assisting Made Easy. This is a safe space to be mentored, empowered, energized, and equipped. Welcome to another episode of the Irreplaceable Dental Assistant. And do I have a treat for you today? I have my friend, Dr. Uche Odiatu. You know what he is? He's a Janadian. He lives in Canada, but he's come to Jamaica several times. So we have reclassified him. Welcome, Dr. Uche. How are you doing today?
Great. Always a pleasure chatting with you. I love the vibe of, taking care of yourself and the whole, Jamaican lifestyle of self-care.
Yes, I think so too. Dr. Uche, I know quite a bit about you, but can you share a little bit about yourself, what you bring to the world?
Okay, so I've been a practicing dentist for 25 years. I'm a certified yoga instructor, a certified trainer. I'm the author of 2 books. I've actually given 500 lectures in 7 countries over the last 20 years. I've been invited guests on about 400 TV and radio interviews. So I love igniting the spirit of self-care in my audience. So whether it's a dentist, a hygienist, or an assistant, or front office manager, I'm passionate about taking care of yourself first.
Yes. I agree with that 100%. So here's my first question to you, Dr. Uche. What is good health, and why is that important for the dental team now?
Yeah, great question. Good health, people always think of, when you talk about getting healthy, you always think of the flat stomach and the 6-pack. Meanwhile, good health goes far beyond the flat belly and the nice 6-pack for the selfie. It's mental health, it's physical health, it's financial health, it's social health. It's how connected are you to the community and your family and your friendships. That is health. People think it's just about the flat stomach, but it goes far beyond. There's basically 6 or 7 spheres of health we could talk about when we talk about a balanced life and have an overall balance to the sphere of what it's like to be human in 2022.
Yes, and this has been a very stressful 2.5 years, I would say. And I believe that those who have been in good health, physically, emotionally, spiritually, have been able to push through a little easier than those who were ill-equipped. Would you agree?
Oh, I agree. You see, I think good health is like currency. Energy is like cash. It's like coin. It's the reserve in your bank account. So when you have a reserve in your physical account, in your emotional account, you can weather any storm, whether it be financial, emotional, spiritual. So I think over the last 2 years of this pandemic and just coming out of it now, anyone that has stayed healthy, they've had a much easier time staying balanced and keeping themselves healthy, because as that energy is currency, it's coin. You can weather the storms of life if you have a deep reserve. And that deep reserve comes from, eating healthy, sleeping well, managing stress, and consuming good quality foods.
That is so important. And funnily enough, those of us who spend our lives taking care of others are often guilty of not taking good enough care of ourselves. We talk about the triad, good nutrition and adequate sleep and exercise. But let's break it down a little bit. Tell me good nutrition. And the reason why I'm going to focus on good nutrition, because everybody has a solution as to the right way to eat. What do you recommend as a good guide to follow for healthy eating?
Yeah, great question. I love that fact, because a lot of people think they're the expert, but I say if you're an expert, let's see you in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, because that's the ultimate sign. I see many people giving advice online. They have blogs, they have articles, but what do you look like? Are you living the talk? So I think a big part of eating healthy is walking the talk. And I've seen many extreme diets I think 95% of all people on diets within 1 year fall off the wagon. And they're either back to the same weight or they're heavier than they were when they started that diet. So diets do not work, but it's a $60 billion a year industry in North America. So that being said, eating healthy goes far beyond cutting calories and eating salads and taking supplements. It's a way of choosing food. It's mindfully looking at the menu. You know, is this next food item going to take me closer or further away than how I want to look and feel? You know, is this next breakfast I'm going to eat, is it going to serve my day? Am I hungry? Like many people are eating when they're already full. It's like putting gas in your car when it's full. If I was at a gas pump and you saw me and gasoline was coming out, I was still putting gas in, you're like, Dr. Uche, why are you putting gas in? I don't know, I thought I would. The gasoline station was there. Well, that's a silly reason to put gas in. That's a silly reason to eat. Why are you eating when your stomach is full? You know, gastroenterologists now are talking about it takes 4 to 6 hours for the stomach to empty. So it could be that the quite possible time to eat is having a space of time between 4 to 6 hours between meals. So there's a mindfulness to nutrition when it's done well.
So you know something, Dr. Uche? Convenience and cost are often two big factors in deciding what we're going to eat. Okay, I only have 30 minutes for lunch. What can I get? What's close by? And oftentimes, what's close by is not necessarily the healthiest for you. Any advice as we think about how we choose something fast?
Well, one little bit is like sometimes people just eat because it's noon. They eat because it's lunch. But if you're not hungry, why are you eating? You know, are you just eating because you feel an emotional void? Is there a challenge with your relationship, or you're having a stressed out morning? I deserve to have something fun, some fun comfort foods. Well, you know, when you think of Paleolithic man and woman, you know, we've been on the planet for almost 1 million years. So between 1.5 million years ago to 10,000 years ago, Paleolithic man and woman, we've been kind of raised to go up to 30 days without food. The human body, like the fact that you and I are here, means there's been in times where our ancestors have gone up to 30 days without eating. We're designed to go a month without food. So literally, if someone's had breakfast and now it's 1 o'clock, when you say you're starving, hey, think back to 1 million years ago. Are you really hungry, or you just have some emotional void to fill? And at that point, if you're busy, why not phone a mom? You know, why not phone a brother or sister that needs your emotional guidance, not necessarily your food need? So many times we eat out of convenience, and convenience often doesn't lend itself to good quality choices. Comfort foods are fraught with fat and carbohydrate. So next time it's lunchtime, am I hungry, or am I just programmed to eat something? And if I'm not hungry, how about I just go for a walk and get some sun on my skin? How about I just make a few calls to people in my life who might need my conversation more than they need my menu choice?
Yes, I get that. But I'm going to push in a little bit more.
Sure.
Are there any fast foods that are healthier for you than others, or are they all in the same category?
Not really. The whole saying, calories are calories are calories, now has been proven wrong, because 1,000 calories of salad is treated very differently in your body than 1,000 calories of donuts, 1,000 calories of hormone-free range meat or chicken. So a calorie is a calorie is a very 80s, 1990s vanilla ice way of thinking. It's old school. So the new abstract is the very food that we're eating has a different effect on you depending on the quality. So if you're making whole food choices, if you're looking at foods that are very close, what they're saying is the closer to the vine is divine. So the more natural your food, the healthier it is. So a salad, an apple, a sandwich of whole grain bread, these are all easier for your body to recognize as food, digest it, absorb it, and become your knee, your brain, your liver, your heart, your lungs, your shoulder, than if you choose strictly a meal full of preservatives and artificial sweeteners and sugar.
Okay, great. So, you know, most of the time when people speak about good health, they neglect to mention sleep. And, you know, it's almost as if we take pride in saying, well, you know, I only got 4 hours because I was pumping, you know, I was burning the midnight oil, everything to make it seem as if you should be rewarded for getting less sleep. And I think that we have done ourselves a great disservice in taking on that point of view. What do you think?
For sure. Sleep is really a foundation. There's a really good book that I read recently. It's one of my favorite books, actually. It's called Why We Sleep. It's written by a neuroscientist out of Berkeley called Matthew Walker, PhD. And he said, every organ benefits from good sleep, but every organ also suffers from poor quality sleep. And I've even shared, I have a program, it's a 6-hour program. It's called You and Your Sleep Deprived Patient. Basically, good sleepers or good healers, poor sleepers or poor healers. And anytime I see a patient in my chair who's 80, 95, 100 years of age, they are always good sleepers. And people say, Uche, where are the bad sleepers? They're gone. They don't often live, they don't live past 80. So if you want to reach that 80 to 100-year-old milestone of being, that centenarian on the planet, you really got to master sleep and make it a must instead of a should.
That is such a salient point. Make it a must instead of a should. And people are talking about anti-aging. Get more sleep, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
But, I heard you make some connection to the healing process and sleep, specifically with REM sleep. Could you elaborate on that a little bit? What is REM sleep and how does that help us?
Sure. You see, REM sleep is called rapid eye movement sleep. And many people think dreaming is just something that you do to enjoy your reminisce about your day. But neuroscientists have now shown that REM sleep actually helps you process emotion and helps you process memory. REM sleep helps you process memory and helps you process emotion. The sleep scientists are now saying we need 100 minutes a night. You can only get 100 minutes a night if you sleep 7 to 9 hours. So anyone who's a shift worker, anyone who is on rotating shifts, anyone who's up all night on a regular basis, and think about emergency room doctors, or police officers, or firefighters, or new moms, they're sabotaging their good brain. So mommy brain, I'm having a poor memory, flying off the handle, someone who's sleep deprived. It's really hard to have good emotional intelligence if you're a poor sleeper. So think of the healthcare provider, think of the chairside assistant, think of the hygienist, think of the doctor. If you want to be a healthcare provider and take care of someone's dental needs and emotional needs and anxiety, you have to be well balanced. That's why they say EI, emotional intelligence, could be more important than IQ, emotional intelligence, or how smart you are. They both said, no patient never cares how much you know. What they want to know is how much you care about them. And it's not possible if you're flying off the handle, having all of your nerves, being fried from burning a candle at both ends.
Yes, that is so true. So it's no longer a medal of honor to get inadequate sleep. And we heal best when we close our eyes and allow that REM sleep to refresh and renew. And not only does it help with our physical functioning, but also our emotional intelligence. Thank you for that. Dr.
Exactly.
Uche, I once heard you say that exercise lowers muscular tension, and that in turn allows our brains to work better. Can you unpack that a little bit for me, please?
I love that. You're a good student. You take good notes in my courses. So a lot of reasons why people have challenges in daily life is because oxytocin is off, serotonin is off, melatonin is off, brain-derived neurotrophic factor is off. And they've actually shown that muscle, when you actually have stress, becomes tense. You have 600 muscles in the body. So when you're actually under stress, when you're in fight or flight, when you're annoyed, irritated, frustrated, can't get the patient frozen, can't get the rubber dam on, dentist is asking for instruments a little quicker than you wanted, and you're feeling tense. What happens is you carry that tension the whole day into your evening. You carry it home to your family. Now you carry it into the evening time, towards bedtime. Now you wonder, I can't sleep. Hey, but you haven't exercised, but you're emotionally weary. And that's why a gentle walk at nighttime, doing some Pilates or yoga can lower your muscular tension. Exercise lowers muscular tension. Anytime muscular tension is lowered, what happens is you go more into the sleep easier. And they've actually shown anytime you actually lower muscular tension, cortisol goes down. When cortisol goes down, melatonin goes up. When melatonin goes up, you can actually sleep deep. And when you sleep deep, you can rejuvenate. So it's a bit of a long formula, but the whole idea is exercise lowers muscular tension, it lowers cortisol, and it allows you melatonin, which your pineal gland releases at nighttime. And now you can sleep deeper and better. You can wake up fully rested, ready to take on the day again.
Okay, so if you are feeling like you've had a stressed morning and you're not necessarily feeling hungry at lunchtime, a nice walk would be good to get you back in tune for the second half of the day. Or if you've been through the day and it just feels like you're frazzled, including some light exercise. I mean, you don't have to go to the gym and pump for 2 hours. You can just walk it out. One of my stress relievers, or my most effective stress reliever, is putting on some headphones with some soothing music and walking. And I literally feel a difference physically once I've finished that activity. So I think I have a little proof to back that up.
You're good. You're a good student. You're living this. You're living this. And say Albert Schweitzer, that humanitarian, said one of the best ways to teach is to role model. So you're role modeling this and sharing the benefits firsthand in the moment of life.
Yeah, well, I think it's so important for us to share the pearls that we've learned on our life's journey with those people who are just coming into our profession, or who've been in for a little while but haven't quite figured it out. So what we're saying is good health is imperative. What we're saying is good health is measured by good nutritional choices, looking at salads over donuts, because although it's the same degree of calories, your body looks and processes them differently. What I hear you saying is that 7 to 9 hours of sleep is the key to really getting the degree of relaxation that the body needs, so we can refresh, renew, heal, and improve not just our physical, but our emotional status. And I also heard you saying that exercise, whether it's just walking or going in the gym or whatever sporting or dancing activity that you like, can make a big difference in how you are able to relax, get adequate sleep, so you can face the day again. Did I cover it well?
You're good. You're a good student of the universe. I love it. No, it's one of the best ways that I feel I've done my job is people have takeaways, and takeaways means now they can actually take that information, and instead of just knowing it, feeling it, and then actually taking action on it. And that's true knowledge, when you take action on something you just learned. So let me challenge every one of your audience members out there. If something has been said to you, or something resonates with one of your 100 trillion cells inside you, take action on it. Not next month, within 24 hours. And in that 24 hours, you will really make that information your own. And that's true being a student of the universe and living new information.
I think the only thing that I would add to that is it doesn't have to be all or none, meaning that if you can't find an hour to walk, but you can only do 15 minutes, do it.
Yes. Okay. I like that. I like that little appetizer or addendum to the program for sure. All or nothing doesn't work. I think I said most dentists and hygienists, I think dental industry people, we're so all or nothing. It's either I can do 100% or I can't do anything. There's no dimmer on the dental industry's enthusiasm. So what I'm saying is even a gentle first step that can be maintained most of the days, not every day, most days. I miss workouts all the time, but I work out most days. And that's what makes me exercising now for over 40 years. I'm a 40 years regular exercise because I don't worry about every day. I do most days. So no joints are sore. I love it. I'm inspired by it. I love teaching it. And I'll be around for another half a century for sure. It's my goal.
Did you say 40 years? That means you started at age 3 or 2? I mean,
No. I started in my teens. It was 14 when I first caught the weightlifting bug. And I said, wow, you can lift weights and make your bicep bigger. I eat more protein and some chicken and some rice, and I can have a bigger bicep and bigger shoulders. I can create something out of nothing. And I thought, this is the miracle. So my shoulder's this small and I can make it this big by eating some rice and chicken. And I started eating all the vegetables, and I got bigger, and my friends go, Uche, how are you doing this? I'm lifting weights. My muscles are developing for the new load. Anyway, I was inspired and wowed by the body's ability to adapt to stresses in a good way. And it's been a 40-year journey. I love it.
Awesome. I have one more question for you. I always like to end my podcast with a quote. Do you have one that you'd like to share with us today?
Yeah, thank you. I think the one that's most germane to the conversation is if you're a healthcare provider and you want to pour out your genius, pour out your talent, and pour out your insight, you really can't pour from a vessel that's empty. So if you're pouring from a vessel that's empty, nothing can come forth. So first of all, when they talk about in an airplane, in the event of an emergency and the plane's going down, put the oxygen mask on you first. If you're a healthcare provider, if you're a mom, if you're a dad, if people depend on you, you have to take care of yourself first. It's not selfish to take care of yourself first, because only by taking care of yourself first and having a full vessel, you can pour forth your genius, your joy, and your love to the people you care about most, your family, your patients, your friends, and the community, and the world at large in a global community.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Uche. I don't know when I'm going to see you on this side of the world again, but anytime you come, we always have a great time.
I'd love to come back to the ADA.
You always leave us with things that we can implement immediately. So have a wonderful time up there in Canada, and I hope to see you again. God bless.
Yeah, my pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, that was another great session with Dr. Uche, and he reminded us that an irreplaceable dental assistant can't be at his or her best unless you're healthy. Dr. Uche reminded us that we shouldn't eat unless we're hungry. You should choose the type of calories you opt for and look for more organic, less processed foods. Sleep is important. At least 7 to 9 hours are what is required on a nightly basis so that your body can refresh, renew, and heal. And most of all, we gotta move, and move. Do what you can with the time that you have. An evening walk relaxes you and prepares you for good sleep, which then allows you to have a great next day. Just be consistent. After all, your health is your wealth. Many of us can do simple things to improve our health. What about encouraging your team to end a workday walking together? Or how about some stretching for a minute or two during your morning huddle? Do you know someone who needs to hear this? Well, don't be selfish. Like, share, subscribe. And remember, life is better when we live, learn, and grow together. Blessings.